Welcome to the Build Your Reiki Business podcast. I'm Christian of Standing Stones Healing, founder of the Reiki Business Collective and creator of the Build Your Reiki Business program, sending blessings and best wishes to your Reiki business. Greetings, welcome, and thanks so much for joining me for this episode of the Build Your Reiki Business podcast. It's Christian. As always, I'm excited and honored to have you here. So thank you so very much. In this episode, we're talking about client attraction, attracting clients in our Reiki business, but we're focusing specifically on what doesn't matter as much as you think it does. So, what doesn't matter when it comes to attracting clients? Now, in this episode, I might share some things that might surprise you. You might not like some of the things that I might have to share, and you may even disagree with them. But I'm sharing these from my own experience, my own perspective, and my own experience helping Reiki practitioners over the years. How do I attract clients? It is the number one question that I get again and again in my meetings with students and clients in my Reiki business mentoring sessions. It's the number one question that I see in my Facebook groups. And it may indeed be your number one Reiki business question as well. You may feel like you are doing all of the things and you're not getting any clients, or you're getting a trickle of clients and you just don't understand what's happening and why the floodgates are not opening. So in this episode, I'm going to share 3 things that might be holding you back from attracting clients simply because you feel that they are important when they might not be as important as we think they are. Number 1, the number one thing that doesn't matter for client attraction as much as we think it does is our prices. It's our prices. Number 1, we often believe that lower prices will bring in more clients. But the truth is that lower prices don't matter as much as we think they do. So often on our Reiki business journey, whether we're just starting out or we've been in business for years, we have the belief that if we lower our prices or start off with a lower price or drop our prices, that more people will say yes. So if we make it affordable, more people will say yes and we will have more clients. But this is not necessarily true. Can it be true? Sure, it can be true. Is it mostly true? No, it is not mostly true. Here's why. When we have lower prices in our Reiki business, whether they are for sessions or courses or whatever it might be, we're often attracting clients who are bargain shoppers. Now, listen, I have nothing against bargain shoppers. I'm the kind of person who likes a good deal. I'm personally the kind of person who likes to do well for myself in terms of purchasing. And when we try to price our offerings for everyone, we often end up signaling to the very people who we want to work with and want to help that our offerings are really not that great after all, that they are low quality, that they really can't help, or even that we don't know what we're doing. Now, I want to give the caveat that I don't think it's ever wrong to have lower prices, but I always encourage using pricing strategically. And so if you are offering lower cost sessions or courses or other offerings, that we're doing so with a strategy and intention behind it. And that the price is not based on our fear that no one is going to buy, but rather based on intention and thought and strategy. Because when we are offering low prices all of the time, consistently, chronically, we can begin to feel resentful. We can feel resentful that we're not being paid more, that we're not being valued more or feeling valued. We feel underpaid, which can have all kinds of impacts on how we show up, whether we realize it or not. One thing that we are really in danger of in our Reiki business when we are struggling to bring in clients is having a business that is based on discounts, in which we are always discounting just in order to bring clients in. And we default to discounting just to have a sustainable practice. But the truth is that discounting again and again and again is not sustainable. And so lower prices can indeed be a detriment to our Reiki business, and they do not matter as much as we often think they do for client attraction. When you discount, you are attracting the bargain shoppers. You are attracting clients who book because they're getting a good deal or feel like they are, or would only book if it was at that certain price point. And that's not allowing us to attract the clients who really do want to work with us, who really are invested, who really do believe in us and what we offer. Now, again, I am not saying that it is wrong to offer lower price points. I have plenty of them in my own Reiki business. But when we consistently always offer lower prices, thinking that lower prices is what really matters, we're usually doing ourselves and our Reiki business more of a disservice. So, number one thing that doesn't matter as much as we think it does for attracting clients is lower prices. Now, I'm not saying that's number one, the number one thing. I'm just saying it's number one in this episode. Because number two, posting consistently on social media doesn't matter. At least not as much as we might think it does when it comes to attracting clients. Now, as a consistent social media user, as someone who is consistently posting, consistently creating content, consistently offering new episodes of this podcast, consistently showing up on social media, this might surprise you, but I'm talking specifically just about posting consistently, in which we may fall into the false belief that if we just keep posting, we will attract clients. But the truth is, on social media, just like with our pricing, we need to be more intentional. We need to have some strategy behind what we're doing. And we need to be more thoughtful about why we're doing what we're doing. And so the kind of posting that really doesn't work very well and that contributes to this idea that posting consistently doesn't matter is a lot of posts that I see from a lot of practitioners and other spiritual business owners things like generic inspirational quotes that are just meant to encourage and uplift. And I call these content cookies. So I talk about it in a podcast episode. I'll drop that down below. By the way, I'll also drop down below. I forgot to mention I have a podcast episode on pricing and one on discounts. I'll put those down below as well so you can reference more about the topics we touched on in number one. But I call these kinds of posts that are very generic, very inspirational, random tips, random pieces of encouragement and love and light as content cookies. Sure, they taste good, they're sweet, they give you a quick, sugary hit, but they're not filling. They're not something that can sustain our clients. They're not something that actually really helps. And so they might love seeing the inspirational quotes, but anyone can post inspirational quotes. Anyone can post love and light kinds of messages. Anyone can take some uplifting words and put them on a fancy Canva designed background and post them on social media. And believe me, I've seen these kinds of posts a lot. As a Facebook group admin, I can tell you that these generic, inspirational, love and light quotes do not get a lot of engagement. They do not help our potential clients and students in the ways that we might want to be helping them, and they do not matter in bringing in attracting clients. And so posting consistently is very helpful in our Reiki business. It can and does matter, but it's not simply about the consistency. It's about the content of what you are posting consistently. So, yes, social media does matter in attracting clients, or at least it can for your Reiki business. You might have a Reiki business that doesn't use social media at all, and you are thriving, and that's completely possible. But if we want to be using social media to attract clients, it's not just about posting consistently, posting the memes, the love and light, and the inspiration all day, every day. That doesn't matter. The content cookies don't matter in attracting clients. And consistency for consistency's sake is not going to move your Reiki business forward on social media like we might feel it will or we might want it to, unless, again, there's that strategy behind it, that clarity behind it, and that intention behind it. So, number two, with the consistent posting, consistency is important and helpful and does attract clients when we have clarity around what we're posting, who we're posting for, and why. Consistency in and of itself is not a strategy, and consistency in and of itself doesn't matter as much as we might think it does. And number three thing that does not matter as much as we think or might think when it comes to attracting clients, more certifications. More certifications or learning new things in terms of taking additional courses, getting the latest Reiki upgrade, learning a different type of Reiki, getting certified in some other modality. Now, these things can help us to help more clients, to access a wider audience, to offer more impactful services as well, because I believe that the learning and growing never stops on our Reiki journey and on our Reiki business journey. And when we get the next certification or the latest upgrade from a sense of not feeling good enough, that's actually not going to help us get new clients or attract more clients in the ways that we might think. So the latest certification, the next upgrade, learning yet another form of Reiki when we're struggling to attract clients is probably not going to be the quote unquote silver bullet. Actually, I don't like that term. The thing that is going to bring in more clients. So often on our Reiki business journey, we think that if we're, quote, more qualified, that we'll attract more clients. And we put our faith in acquiring more and new and different qualifications and learning and taking yet one more class because we feel that if we just learn one more thing, that's going to be the thing that is going to bring in clients. But the truth is that so often we are adding more classes, adding more letters after our names, taking the latest upgrade because we don't feel good enough. We don't feel like what we bring is enough. We don't feel like we are enough. But to clients, they so often only care that you can help them. They so often only care about who you are and what makes working with you special and unique, rather than any certificates you might have, any letters after your name, or that fifth style of Reiki that you've just learned. Now, again, I'm not knocking the learning and the growing. I believe they are important. But so often we're coming at it from a place of fear and a place of, if I just learn this next thing, that's going to bring in the clients. If I just get this other certification, that's going to help me attract clients. If I just get the latest Reiki quote upgrade, that's going to be the thing that brings in clients. And finally, I'll be successful in my Reiki business. I'll be fully booked and I'll have a thriving business. But that's usually not how it works. Because if we're challenged to attract clients, it's typically not about our certifications. It's typically not about our level of training. It's typically not about who our teacher was, which, let's be real, most of our clients have no clue about that anyway. And it's usually not about whether you are using Holy Fire 1 or 2, or I guess it's 3 now, World Peace. I don't know. But what I do know is that if we are challenged to attract clients, it typically has nothing to do with our certifications, and they usually really don't matter as much as we think they do when it comes to attracting clients. So, what does matter? If these three things don't matter as much as we think they do, if more certifications don't matter like we think they do, if lower prices don't matter like we think they do, if posting consistently on social media doesn't matter like we think it does, then what does matter. Things like clarity of our clients and how we can help them, the confidence to talk about Reiki and to connect with others, to network, how we talk about ourselves and what we can do, our services, our offerings, and how we can help, the ways in which we communicate with potential clients and students, and the connections that we make as well. When we're challenged to attract clients, we so often look to things that are not at the core of the challenge. We might say things like, I need this next certification. Oh, I just need to post more. Oh, I need to lower my prices. And what we really need is clarity, getting clearer about who we are, who our clients are, how we can connect with them, how we can communicate with them. And clarity, we often believe, comes from sitting in reflection. But clarity actually comes from doing. It comes from conversations and connections, information and inspiration, talking to other Reiki practitioners who are having the same experiences. And that's what we are doing at the live online Reiki Business Summit this April 18th and 19th. As a matter of fact, at the Reiki Business Summit this April 18th and 19th, we're talking specifically about client attraction, how to attract clients. We're being joined by Carrie Varela and Mary Raposo, two established Reiki leaders who have a thing or two to say about attracting clients and have a few tips to share with us. And so, if these three things don't matter as much as we think they do, Carrie and Mary are going to share with us what does matter. They're bringing in all of their years of Reiki business experience to share with us tips and strategies on attracting clients. I shared with you what doesn't matter as much as we think it does, and Mary and Carrie are going to share with you what does. And attracting clients is just one Reiki business topic that we're addressing at the live online Reiki Business Summit. You can learn more and save your seat right now at reikibusinesssummit.com. You'll be able to see the full weekend schedule, to learn about the speakers, not just Mary and Carrie, but everyone else, all of the topics that we'll be discussing throughout this incredible weekend, where you will get clarity on the next step in your Reiki business journey, and you will get help and support with attracting clients. ReikiBusinessSummit.com. The link is down below. So, what do you think about attracting clients? What are some things that you've observed that don't matter as much as we might think they do when it comes to attracting clients? Join us at the Reiki Business Summit live online this April 18th and 19th to share your experiences, your thoughts, your perspectives with your Reiki friends. And even if you can't join live, you will get the recordings. Sending so many blessings and best wishes to attracting clients and to your Reiki business. Thanks for tuning in to the Build Your Reiki Business podcast. Please like, share, subscribe, and send to a friend. Learn more about the Build Your Reiki Business program at standingstoneshealing.com/build. Sending blessings and best wishes to your Reiki business.